As we increased the milliliter of water added to the wet side, we found that the pill bugs moved more to the dry side. As you can see in graph 1, this test was with the max 5 milliliter of water and all 8 bugs moved to the dry side. In graph 2, this was with only 1 milliliter of water added to the damp side. 5 bugs were found on the damp and 3 on the dry. As we increased the water, the number of bugs on the damp side dwindled. You can see this decrease in table 1 under number of bugs on wet side, where the mean decreased from 4.5 to 1.36. Shown in table 1, a t-test was performed by calculating the mean from raw data in Appendix A of the lab report. It showed that t is equal to 0.0117. The probability for the test is t has to be greater than 0.05 to prove the null hypothesis. This means the means are significantly different, and our null hypothesis was rejected.
Our original hypothesis was that pill bugs have an affinity to wet conditions and will choose them over dry conditions if given a choice. However, our results do not support this. Through the several trials we conducted, it was shown that isopods seem to have a preference for the dry environment over the wet one. These findings do not match the research that has already been previously done within this topic. In 1963, Weiser found that isopods will curl up in dry environments to avoid desiccation. However, none of the pill bugs in our study did this, even when they were placed in a dry environment. Furthermore, in 1968, Warburg conducted studies in which revealed that pill bugs can distinguish a 3% difference in humidity. Our findings cannot conclude that pill bugs are not able to distinguish changes in humidity based on the results illustrating a preference to a dry environment even when there was a moist conditions nearby, therefore disagreeing with Warburg's research. It should also be noted that a few isopods attempted to crawl under the filter paper in both environments, which is an interesting observation and could be the reason why our results do not agree with previous studies. To elaborate, our experiment focused primarily on how moisture affects terrestrial isopods, and lighting was kept as a controlled variable. With this in mind, it is a possibility that pill bugs require both moisture and darkness for a favorable habitat, or perhaps they are affected more by light than they are moisture. These findings in our experiment will need to be researched further, and this could be done by conducting trials using conditions based solely on lighting, or conducting the same experiment again. However, the conditions would be changed from wet versus dry to dark and wet versus bright and dry. Sources of error in our study may be another reason as to why our results did not support our hypothesis. The first possible source of error is population size. This research was conducted on a very small population of isopods, thus increasing the occurrence of errors in the experiment. Another source of error could have arisen from the amount of trials we conducted. To reduce the chance of error in future research, more trials would have to be conducted on larger population sizes, which allows for more accurate results.